this Good Samaritan parable, it doesn't allow us to limit how we serve others or what others we serve. It doesn't allow us to actually have the right, if we're going to be God followers and Jesus followers, to determine or limit how we help others or who it is we actually help. It also gives us some answers to most of the objections that people that don't want to get involved in justice issues, okay? Here's some of the excuses that I've heard. Well, I don't have enough to spare. I don't have enough to spare. And that may always be a problem, okay? And you have to make a judgment call when in that sort of thing. But I'm not sure the Samaritan had anything to spare. I'm not sure in his budget he had this section over here for any Jews he finds up beaten up on the road. You know, this is the money he uses for that, right? And it really cost him. It cost him time because he spent at least one day at the inn there instead of, you know, getting the rest of the way home, and 2 days of inn expenses that he paid for, promising to do more. So I'm not sure that's a good enough excuse. I've heard some people say, well, he might deserve it. The reason this person is in this predicament is because bad decisions put him there. Well, that's actually true. Many people are put in their positions because of bad decisions we make. But the Samaritan didn't ask, right? And since we don't know, then we're supposed to love, according to what the Samaritan parable tells us. But I don't like them or what they stand for. Okay? That's a harsh one. But I know people think this, and people have even said it to me before, right? But why do you think Jesus chose a Jew and a Samaritan for the parable? He's answering this one directly by the characters he chose to tell his story. These were hated people, people who hated each other without knowing each other, right? That prejudice and bias that deeply exists between two groups of people. It's kind of like a doctor and his Hippocratic oath, right? Oh, well, I don't like this guy. I'm not going to treat him. I'm just going to treat that guy over there. You can't say that. As a Jesus follower, we're not given that permission. Yeah, but I'll feed the entitlement appetite. He just thinks that he deserves this if I help him, right? Well, that actually may be true. I'm not saying that these things aren't true. I'm just saying the Samaritan parable tells us that that involves a heart motive that we don't know. And the Sermon on the Mount tells us to be wary of heart motives, and we shouldn't be judging on heart motives. And in fact, if we see someone with a speck in their eye, we should not tell them because we have a log in ours. Oh, but they'll abuse the help. You know, if some bum on a corner and I give him a 20, he's going to go buy booze. Well, that might be true too. I'm not saying these things aren't true and that they don't come up in our mind. But do you ever think if Christ ever thought about that when he was dying on the cross? I mean, he was doing that death for everyone, right? The people who are in front of him, who are spitting on him and mocking, come on, if you're the Son of God, come on down. Just come on down, let's see you do it. And Jesus said, I don't like those guys. God, don't count them in. This blood ain't for them, just for the people I like. Jesus never said that. Neither does the Samaritan. But Pastor, we should emphasize the gospel. We should emphasize the gospel. Tell them about Jesus. Absolutely. Absolutely. You have no qualms with me from there. But it's how we emphasize the gospel. In this story, they had real spiritual differences, right? Jews and Samaritans. Samaritans believed they had the true way of worship, and Jews believed they had the true way of worship. But this guy didn't talk about anything as far as I know. He just helped the guy. Now, maybe the guy was unconscious the whole time, but I don't know that. I don't think we're given that permission. And some of you probably know St. Francis of Assisi and his famous quote, preach the gospel at all times. If necessary, use words, right? That's what the gospel is telling us. Yeah, but Pastor, they won't be grateful. Do I even have to address this? Comes back to the heart motive, chesed, mercy, and compassion that we have on these people. But this man, as far as I know, never thanked the Samaritan, right? Now, some of these objections, I'll say it again, these are not easy to dismiss. But that when the only option is to help or to not help, then this parable helps us know that what our choice is, that we have to help, that we have to respond to needs like this. I think, we all have in mind the perfect person that we want to help, right? We're going to help some guy, some down-and-outer, it's terrible tragedies that hit him and he's had this lifelong addiction. We're going to help him, and, our help is going to be that springboard, and he's going to pop out of it, and he's going to start on the ladder up, and he's going to break out of all of this, and he's going to meet Jesus, and he's going to love Jesus to death, and he's going to make a difference in the world, and his life is going to be changed, and he's going to we have this perfect person that doesn't exist in who we want to help. But the Good Samaritan is not given a picture or a vision of what this man would do. The Good Samaritan was just given a person with a need, and he responded to that need. And when you kind of think of that person, just be glad that Christ didn't think of any of these excuses when he looked at my life, when he looked at your life, and said, I died for you. I'm doing this for you.